Bonjour à tous und für unsere Freunde im deutschsprachigen Raum herzlich willkommen zur Journey at the Chateau.
Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us again on our journey to the Chateau. I'm Stuart.
And I'm Patrick.
In this episode, we want to share with you another chateau.
And it was referred to as the imposing chateau.
Located about 1 hour northwest of Lyon, this imposing 19th century chateau was on the edge of a small town in the department of Loire. Lyon is the third largest city in France, with a population of about 516,000. It is known for its historical buildings, Roman heritage, and its light and music festivals. This 900 square meter chateau, with 25 rooms and 16 bedrooms, offered great potential, but the chateau and all of the outbuildings were in need of major repair and renovation. The property included a wooded park and a parcel covering almost 10 hectares that included the chateau, the main gate, a coach house garage, a farmhouse cottage, stables, and a garden folly pool house. The ground floor layout of 340 square meters included a large entrance hall, 2 long hallways, a kitchen, dining room, office, a library, a salon, 2 living rooms, a bedroom, and 2 bathrooms. Even though this was a 19th century chateau, we wanted to be pretty open-minded about the possibilities. It actually was quite an impressive looking building. It had symmetry that we like. So we thought it was worth trying to take a look and see how it was.
This chateau needs a lot of work, not just on the facade, but also on the interior. There was a lot of water damage. The roof had leaked. There's ceilings that have come down, or partially the plaster came down, but it is situated in a huge park right on the edge of a town and very, very attractive in its proportions. We thought it was really interesting to see how the chateau looked about 15 years after it was built. And the park now has some absolutely beautiful trees that at this stage of this postcard are not there. One thing I loved about the chateau is the entrance into the basement from under the staircase. But as you can also see here, the lime render is so damaged around the entire chateau, and it's made has a lot of brick in it. That needs a lot of restoration work too.
As you can see from the old postcard and from the more recent picture, there's the steeple of the church there in the background, which shows that the chateau is situated close to the town.
Now, entering the chateau, this is very impressive. However, I would not have painted this goldenrod yellow. Not my choice. Would not have been and will never be. But very impressive, very large. And looking into the staircase, up, it's fascinating. Very nice details and a beautiful chandelier. That railing wrought iron is really fascinating. It's gorgeous craftsmanship. clearly something that was a big point on our checklist.
This entrance hall was very large, and actually, to me, when I saw this, this is when you step in the front door, this is looking off to the left. This almost looks like a lobby to me instead of an entrance hall.
In terms of styling, there is a lot to be desired. The fireplace, really not what we were looking for. And the terrazzo floors. Terrazzo is a beautiful building material, but really was not on our wish list.
Straight across from the entrance hall and towards the back of the chateau is one of the salons.
The walls in this, let's call it the red salon, are covered with fabric, very red fabric. And one can clearly see the damage, water damage, and it's so bad that they had to actually support the entire ceiling and some beams, which is a big problem if there is dry rot in any of these wood beams. That is very, very costly. Now, on the other hand, the styling of the room with the two double doors and the double door as an entrance, the fireplace, mantle, that was all pretty.
This is a view from the red salon looking out to the back property of the chateau. From the red salon, you go into the office, which has fabric wall coverings.
We thought this room had quite a bit of potential. Fireplace mantle is very beautifully carved, although I have to admit I'm not the biggest fan of the marble being this busy. Now we're entering the dining room. Beautiful, large room. We really like the wall panelings, though it almost looks like the paneling has Art Nouveau influences, which will indicate that this was put in later than the original building was constructed.
The fireplace mantle in this dining room is actually quite pretty, although I don't think the way that they installed the fireplace insert would be exactly how we would do something with it.
No. So the kitchen in this chateau is larger than the one in the island chateau. The kitchen has potential. This is the hallway that connects the kitchen dining room to the entrance hall. This basin out of marble is quite unique, very cool feature. This chateau has a designated library, as many do. The paintings on the walls, the murals, are 1880s, 1890s. It's very bourgeois. You will find these kind of wall paintings, I should say, or decorations in France. You find them in Germany a lot. But they were in really bad shape. So this would have been a very labor-intensive restoration that we could do. It's just really did not quite catch our imagination. That is the fireplace of the library. And I've heard it say that God invented chocolate and vanilla for a reason. I find this really awful. And I know there will be people who say, well, but I love this, and that's okay.
Yes, but that it's definitely not a fireplace for us.
Right. This is a secondary staircase. The floors are beautiful. This staircase in itself, and it's again a secondary staircase, is quite impressive, and the craftsmanship is amazing. This is one of 2 bedrooms on the ground floor with a beautiful fireplace and beautiful oak floors. This is another salon on the ground floor, gorgeous ceiling moldings, nice paneling.
A beautiful flooring.
Yeah, and nice views. On the first floor is a secondary kitchen, which was not there originally. That used to be a bedroom.
And here is another bedroom that had beautiful herringbone floors.
As the entire second floor had.
Right.
This is the basement, reachable from under the back staircase that we saw earlier with the 2 arches on the side. A lot of room and a lot of potential. Tomates on the floor, and at this point, extremely damp. A chateau that was built in this time period usually had their kitchen in the basement. So we don't know if this used to be the kitchen or the scullery, but all of the service rooms that were in the lower level.
Looking at the exterior of the Chateau property, this is the front gate entrance from the town.
Now they say making an entrance. However, this had a nice entrance.
Yes, it did.
The property has beautiful linden trees, or as they say in Great Britain, lime trees. This is a barn, or now garage, that was actually in decent shape. This was the coach house and stables and the groomsmen's accommodations, with a little courtyard for the kennel. As you can see, the entire roof over the stables has collapsed, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Now, these horse boxes look to us like they were installed in the 80s or 90s, because these are very modern,
Right.
clearly not original to the Chateau.
Right. Original stable stalls are basically all wooden.
So they might have been put in the 80s or 90s. Just a few years of a roof that's not fixed can cause all this damage. This chateau has a pool, not one would imagine as a pool, but it's right at this point it's a natural pool because it hasn't been kept up for, I don't know, 1 or 2 decades.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely something that you don't see in a lot of places, which, initially my thought on this was, wow, that's pretty cool.
It is, and it has a pool house / folly.
Right, but one of the issues that I had with it was that its location. And if you remember from the map at the beginning of the vlog, I showed you where the location was of the pool house and the pool, which is way off in the far corner of the property.
And as we have here a pool at our current house, it's a large, wonderful pool, and we're surrounded by mature trees. There are a lot of leaves to be fished out of the pool every day. And when we bought this house, the pool hadn't been cleaned in about 5 or 6 years. So when we pumped out the pool, there were about 1.5 feet of sludge and things I had better not mentioned, and the smell was overwhelming. Thinking about this pool, that's really bad. Here you can see the chateau from the meadow. It's beautiful, a lot of space. There's a lot that the chateau has going for it.
Yeah, and the property itself was actually a very beautiful property.
Now, the chateau was quite imposing.
Yeah.
In the middle of town, very pretty. The park around it, fantastic.
Yeah, and the chateau itself was very large, had a lot of
Yes.
square footage to it, had the outbuildings to it. It was actually a very large property all around.
Beautifully situated. The one thing we were looking for rural, and we were talking about that we need to be a bit more open-minded.
Right. Which is one of the reasons why we looked at this property. And the things that we learned after looking at this chateau were, we learned that we really do want a 17th or 18th century French chateau.
Yes, I mean, this was 19th century.
Right.
The staircase, again,
Beautiful.
also what attracted us to this property was the symmetry.
Right.
And it is in a region, the Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region, which is, it does get some snow in the winter. Not that we're not used to snow. We had one winter here when we had a blizzard and we got 3 feet, it's about 1 meter of snow in one night. So but that's what we want to get away from.
Right.
The region of Lyon has 2,000 years of history, starting way back with the Romans. That clearly is a beautiful, very attractive point for that region. Most of it is very rural, but this chateau was not.
Yes, it definitely had a lot for somebody to love. It just wasn't the chateau for us.
Yes, so not the right time period.
Right.
It was quite large.
Yeah, I think we have looked at other chateaux before, and we've sort of decided that we really don't need that many bedrooms in our actual chateau. I mean, our whole idea is that we want to have gîtes that we can convert and use them, so we don't need 16 bedrooms in a chateau.
Right, and it's just for us not the right concept.
Right.
And again, we love people who take on these big properties with a ton of bedrooms. It's not what we are envisioning ourselves in. This concludes our vlog for this week, and thank you for watching. Vielen Dank.
Bonne journée.
If you enjoyed this video, please use the like feature to let us know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Journey to the Chateau YouTube channel if you would like to see more. Once you've subscribed, you can tap the notification bell in order to ring it, which will allow you to receive all notifications from our channel. Thank you.